I don't even know where to get started with this, but fuck it. We are in a critical situation for multiple reasons. Excuse me. I got 100 lighters. Oh, okay. All right. They say Gen Z has been labeled the weakest generation of human history. Now, I cleaned that up, trying to be nice. What it actually says is Gen Z women are roughly 3 times more likely than men to identify as LGBT, whatever. And millennial women are about 2 times more likely than men to identify as such things. Okay. Where is it at? And it says right here, Gen Z is the queerest generation ever. All right, now I want to go back to something. It said Gen Z women are roughly 3 times more likely than men to identify with the LGBT. Millennial women are about 2 times as likely as men. Let's go back. Let's go to something else. I allow no woman to teach or to have authority over men. She is to remain in quietness and keep silent. The Bible is sexist. It's about the subjugation of women to be subservient to men. Gen Z women are roughly 3 times more likely than men to identify as LGBT. Millennial women are 2 times as likely to identify as LGBT. And it said likely than men, both times. First Timothy 2:12. I allow no woman to teach or to have authority over men. She is to remain in quietness and keep silent. I've already made a video, but I never put it up here, but I will. You know, there's 500 convicted female teachers of molestation. There's 500. And that's just in America. They have other lists in UK and Canada. Is this a woman bashing video? Of course not. This is a video speaking on how things are out of order. This is the queerest generation in human history. Because I got into it with somebody and they was talking about the Greeks and how they was gay. And I was like, bro, but they had families, bro. And he's like, oh, they could have had a wife and kids. That doesn't mean they weren't gay. And I'm like, no, bro. There was no single family households in ancient times unless you were murdered. And then remember, the Bible has an answer for that. Whoever his brother is, he's supposed to take on that woman as if it was his wife. I don't think that necessarily is talking about sleeping with her. I think it's more or less saying, be there for your niece and nephew and your sister-in-law. You know what I mean? I think that's really what he was talking about. I don't think he was talking about sleeping with her. That only happens one time in the Bible where God kills the guy for not impregnating her. But that's really only one story. I've never really heard that in any other story. So maybe that lineage was of importance for him to keep going. I don't know. We're 34 trillion in debt. Crime is going up, it's not going down. Education is going down, it's not going up. Foreigner, non-speaking English people are swarming this nation, which will give no validity to the Constitution because they're not a part of it. You'd have to know English. You'd also have to know American history to a major degree, which most people don't, which is an issue. How did this generation get so weak? Why is it so weak? Do I fully blame this generation? No. You have to blame the one before it. People be like, yo, see, that's y'all. See, y'all did it. No. It does have something to do with the violence of the 90s and the 80s, because a lot of these men weren't showing any form of unity. They were showing a bunch of bruteness, you know what I mean? Which has a reverse effect. How many guys were hard rocks that sons turned out to be weak or feminine? Magic Johnson, Snoop Dogg, Whack 100, Ghostface. I can keep naming. There's a gang of them. There's a gang of strong men whose children were nothing like them. Why? Because they took it easy on their kids. I'm not talking about in the form of abuse, beat your kids. That's not what I mean by take it easy. I'm saying instead of having their son mow the lawn, they paid somebody to do it. Instead of their son learning to do dishes, they had a maid do it. Instead of them in the garage with their son teaching them how to do an oil change, they let Midas do it. Like they say, strong men make strong nations. Strong nations breed weak men, and weak men destroy nations or destroy strong nations. Something like that. Basically, what it's saying is the strength makes the foundation, and it is up to the next up to keep that strength up. Because if they don't, it will get weakened through laziness, in the form of you don't have to build the kingdom's already built, but you have to maintain it. This group, these millennials, these Gen Zs are not maintaining it. They're getting lost in this trap provided by a certain group. I'm not going to lie. And this certain group did start off by saying this type of activity was non-prohibited. This activity is prohibited. You're not supposed to be doing this type of stuff. This is what was in their book. You know what I mean? Women, you are the weaker vessel. And we weren't just saying that because of physical. We were also saying that because of mental. You're mentally weaker than men. That's why Gen Z women are roughly 3 times more likely than men to identify as LGBT. Millennial women are 2 times more likely than men to identify as LGBT. Why? Women are group economics, and they feel that that's a grander thing to be a part of because it's part of the group. But what they don't understand is the group is following something that has already been there. You know what I mean? In order to advance, you have to go through the basics. Women feel that they're advanced because they're new to this. It's the same thing like the white guy saying he's the last created, so he's the supreme because he's the Muslims say the same thing. They're the last holy book, so they are the greatest because they're the last one. They have all the information. Okay, the same thing the white dude is saying. The same thing the woman is saying. Because she wasn't able to run the show, now that she's free and able to do such, she's going to be the best at it. But we're 34 trillion in debt. She has the most student loan debt and I believe the most credit debt. The black American woman, the American Negro woman, is responsible by herself for 19 million abortions. Altogether, America has 63 or 68 million abortions. There's only one sex that is allowed to, push an abortion because they're the only ones that can get, a restraining order based off a lie and the police will believe it. Not saying that they don't legitimately get them, but they can lie and get one. They can literally have a perfect family and just break it up because they're bored. And they can get child support and they can get full custody of the children or majority of custody. Through this process, we're at 34 trillion in debt. Crime hasn't slimmed up, it's risen. The music has dumbed down. There are 500 female teachers convicted of molesting the students. I bring that up very powerfully because I keep telling people that could never happen with men. You could never have 500 child molesting teachers that were males, and that wouldn't be the talk of the year. That would have been a big conversation. Nobody's talking about the women because nobody's ever brought it up, but it's true. And that video I'll put up. I still got it. I'll put it up. Gen Z is the gayest generation of humankind, of human history. That's a wild one. I never thought in my life when I heard the white dude Charlie Kirk say that was true. I thought he was just talking out of his ass. But now that I think about it, they don't fight, they shoot. They don't try democracy before diplomacy. They call the women bruh. Women call women bruh. Hip hop itself has went down 40% in sales. It's the biggest hit hip hop ever had since it came out. It's the biggest knock in sales. How much download stuff was going on in the 90s? A lot. How many of those tough guys was going into penitentiary, sleeping with dudes, coming out, sleeping with girls, and giving them transmitted diseases? Plenty. How many rapists are there in organized gangs and cliques and crews and nobody says anything? And you wonder why this is the gayest generation. Destroyed them kids. And it's sad. And now they need to be stirred the right way. And it's going to first start by getting woman back on the side of man. Getting her back to the point of being his helpmate. Friending him instead of frenemies him. But women are going to have to start dealing with real men. You know what I mean? You've put you bailed out Pookie so many times. You put money on Ray Ray's book so many times. You have gyrated your butt in front of the youth so many times. You have allowed crime in your communities without saying anything for such a long time. It's not that it can't change, because you can't stay marching up and down the streets crying to a government you never needed. Women are not going to have to pick better. They're going to have to start using the brain that they know they have. You're the one with the friend zone. Men don't have a friend zone. We don't. There's no way in hell that a man would have 100 potential good women and wouldn't fuck with none of them. It's never happened. It's never. No. A friend zone is a female thing. There's 100 good potential people. And I'm not saying they're all, because why would you friend them? If they're not worth anything, why would you put them in a friend zone? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you be friends? That's ignorant. So the purpose of a friend zone is somebody that's supposed to wait for you when you're done, traveling down that road of destruction, and then want to settle down. It's going to get to that point where it's like, well, bro, you're just basically telling us that you're screwing off on purpose. Same thing with having unprotected sex, and then once the baby's there, you kill it. Instead of, before we even get to the next day, you already know he gushed in you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, or if he didn't gush in you, if he pulled out, or if he had a condom on, still, it's plan B day. You know what I'm saying? It's plan B time. There's so many different ways to get to it before the heartbeat, the growth. Is like, you're going to have to start realizing that man's here to guide you. You're not here to guide man. Men, you're going to have to stop promoting your ego. You know that's your criminal. That's your bullshit. You have to stop promoting that. You're going to have 5 years of noble stuff. It's all right to have a drink. You're not fucking shaking it up, squirting it on breath. It's all right to have a smoke. You're not sitting here bragging about it. And, that's not, no. But what you need to do is start having some wisdom in what we're doing, because the gayest generation, wow. That's surpassing everything. And that's, like I said, you're 34 trillion in debt. What we're doing is not working. I'm going to keep saying that. What we're doing is not working. This is the most children trafficked we've ever heard out loud in the Senate. Never heard nothing like that. They've never brought up no arguments like that. 85,000 children missing. Oh, because it's the Republicans talking about it, bro. Enough with that sidebar shit. The truth is, one of them is working with the devil and one of them is not. Both of them have corrupt people in them, because that's every organization. Even the devil was a part of the angels at one time. Get the point? So, it's time for us to clean up this fucking generation, yo. And the millennials, too. It's not looking good for any of you. It's time to rise them up. Yo. Go.